Dedication. This book is dedicated to the entire military family, from the serving member, their partners and children, through all generations of service, for the ex-servicemen and women that are still struggling, and for those yet to come. There is hope. There is good news about PTSD. It can be beaten to victory. I'm just a guy. My grandfather was a World War II vet and my dad was a 20-year soldier, so I joined the army. I had my 18th birthday on basic training. I met my brothers there and became part of the military family. For my 19th and 20th birthdays, I was in the field on exercise. My instructors taught me how to be a soldier in a process that has proven to be the most effective form of training that has ever existed. I was an average soldier, nothing special. G.I. Joe average. We deployed on a 6-month operational tour to Bosnia as young men. I had my 21st birthday there. During that deployment, my grandfather died. Leaving the army, I took my military skills with me into the police force. Dealing with life and death situations in the police, because of my military training, was easy to deal with. Controlling the aftermath of death from car accidents, the body parts, the blood and guts, was no big deal to me. Telling the families that their loved one had died, and spending time with them, viewing the bodies and signing the forms, I found that very hard to deal with. During that time, I watched my father struggle in the civilian world. He was devalued, his military experience leaving as a sergeant major meant nothing. He had to go overseas to find work where he was valued. I remember sitting in one of his job interviews as a corporate taxi driver. Demoralizing. I took my combined military and police experience into Iraq as a close protection operative from 2004 to 2007. We were tested daily. It was here that I worked with my Australian, UK and US brothers in arms. When I got home, my head was still overseas. I loved the lifestyle, although my wife and I drifted apart until we were almost at the stage of separating. Just before that happened, one of my best mates was killed in Iraq. Cue any excuse to get into fights. For 18 months, I got angrier and angrier. I became a werewolf. In struggling to come to terms with the change in me, it felt like I was walking through a desert, alone. But I found things along the way that helped me survive. When you are lost in the desert and dying of thirst, it is irrelevant who gives you water and what it tastes like, right? It doesn't matter if it's a bit muddy, bitter or sweet, so long as it keeps you alive until you can get to an oasis. This is what this book is. It is not clean, nor have I filtered it, but it will keep you going until you can get to that oasis, that ERV, to regroup and war game with those of us walking a similar path. This book is a combination of many people's experiences, told upon the foundation of my personal story, and as such, is a real mix of flavour. It's not perfect, but it's functional, and the overview alone has proven to be successful. It is already saving lives. It is written in my language, raw, with poor grammar, and I'm sure there are spelling mistakes throughout the book. And I did that one on purpose. But that is irrelevant to me. The content is what is important. The positive effect it can have on your life, like it did mine. I showed signs and symptoms of PTSD, some of which manifested long after actual situations had occurred. Some I didn't even realise had affected me until that particular memory was activated. Once I understood what I'm going to show you in this book, I saw my experiences and behaviours as misunderstood positives, and some of my behaviours I disagreed with PTSD at all. I mean, being threat aware is not a disorder, is it? If I know all the exits, have worked out in my head how to neutralise everyone in the room in order of targeting priority, that is not hypervigilance, is it? I call those good drills. I'm not a doctor, I cannot give you medical advice, but I can report on my personal journey and that of others who have had the courage to share. This book is the first of its kind in the world, a positive book about PTSD. It's not just about surviving, it's about succeeding. And it's not just about coping, it's about winning. You must take command and control of your subconscious bodyguards because you are their leader. Some of you will be at a stage in your life where you can do this right now. Some of you will need reinforcements. This book is dedicated to you. You hold in your hands a book that may contain answers for you. I dedicate this book to you because you earned it. If you suffer from PTSD, it is because you have dealt with trauma, you know someone that does, or you provide a service to assist with PTSD. If you earn PTSD through service, were subjected to trauma without your permission, or you are doing your best to support someone who suffers from PTSD, I salute you. Why? because you're still here. You are still in the fight. If you're a service provider, a psych, a counsellor, a caseworker, again I salute you. However, to increase your effectiveness, learn our language and use it. Brothers and sisters, if you are reading this book, then you have a heartbeat, the ability to see, and the ability to read. Right now, those are all the assets you require to regain the initiative and win the firefight. Pat yourself on the back for even buying this book. Keep your chin up and take a deep breath. It is going to be okay. We can beat this. Not just survive it, not just cope, but beat it. You and I are in this together. I don't know how and I don't know when you reach feeling okay, but you will get through this, and I will do whatever I can to help. One foot in front of the other. Left, right, left. Onward.